Did you ever toss out an old toy without a second thought? Maybe it was missing an arm, covered in dust, or just looked too childish for your grown-up room. Well, imagine this. Someone once threw away a tiny plastic toy that turned out to be worth more than a luxury car or even an entire house. Sounds insane, right? But this is a true story about a Star Wars action figure so rare. Collectors would pay small fortunes just to get their hands on it. So, before you clean out your attic this weekend, listen up. Your forgotten toy box might just be a hidden gold mine. So, what's the deal with this magical toy? Meet Boba Fett, the mysterious bounty hunter from the Star Wars universe. Back in the late 70s, when Star Wars was exploding everywhere, Kenner, the toy company, made a special Boba Fett action figure with a rocket-firing backpack. But here's the twist. The rocket was considered a choking hazard. So, most of these figures never made it to stores. They pulled them back and destroyed nearly all of them. But a few escaped into the wild, and that's where things got crazy. Decades later, these rare Boba Fetts became the holy grail for collectors. Why? Because not only is Star Wars legendary, but fans will pay ridiculous money for anything that connects them back to childhood nostalgia. So, this tiny plastic bounty hunter ended up with a bounty on its own head, worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's jump to the true story. Somewhere in England, an ordinary family was cleaning out their old attic. You know, boxes of forgotten stuff, baby clothes, dusty books, random toys from the 80s. Among them sat a small Boba Fett figure, lying there for decades. The dad picks it up and says, "Hey, remember this? Must have been yours as a kid." The kid, now an adult, shrugs. "It's just an old toy, Dad. Probably worth nothing." So, what did they do? Yep, straight into the trash bag. Gone. Later, a family friend, who happened to be a Star Wars nerd, visited and casually asked about the old collectibles. When he heard they tossed a vintage Boba Fett, he nearly fainted. He explained that a rare rocket-firing Boba Fett could easily sell for over $100,000 at an auction. Imagine the look on that dad-ass face, realizing they'd literally thrown a house deposit into a landfill. Ouch, that's a lesson in always double-checking your so-called junk. One man's trash is another fan's six-figure dream. So let's talk real money. A genuine rocket-firing Boba Fett has sold for as much as $150,000. No joke. That's enough to buy a small house in Texas, pay off student loans, or backpack around the world twice. The crazy part, these toys didn't start out expensive. Back then, they cost just a couple of bucks at the toy store. But because they were so limited, their value exploded over time. It's simple supply and demand. The fewer there are, the more collectors crave them. Plus, pop culture nostalgia is powerful. Adults who grew up loving Star Wars now have real jobs, real money, and they're willing to pay a fortune for a piece of their childhood back. So, the next time you see a beat-up box of toys at a garage sale or in your grandma's attic, think twice. That dusty plastic figure might just be your golden ticket, or at least a sweet down payment on a car. Just imagine how life-changing it would be to find one rare toy that wipes out your debts overnight. And it's not just Boba Fett. The world of collectible toys is packed with surprise millionaires. Remember Beanie Babies? Some rare ones sold for tens of thousands of dollars. Or those vintage Barbie dolls from the 50s, mid-condition Barbies, have fetched crazy auction prices. And don't get me started on Funko Pops. Limited editions can flip for hundreds or even thousands online. Why? Because collecting isn't just a hobby anymore. It's a full-blown investment game. People know that what looks like cheap plastic today could be worth a fortune tomorrow. Social media has only boosted this trend. Everyone wants to find that next hidden gem and brag about it online. So, collectors all over the world are hunting yard sales, flea markets, and grandma's basement for their big payday. Who knew toys could be a better savings plan than your boring old piggy bank. So, what's the takeaway here? Never underestimate old stuff. That dusty action figure, ancient Barbie, or box of Pokemon cards could secretly be worth more than your car. Before you toss anything, do a quick check, or at least ask Google. You never know. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found something valuable you almost threw away? Or maybe you regret dumping a toy that's now worth a fortune. Drop your story in the comments below. Smash that like button if you learned something new today. And don't forget to subscribe for more crazy hidden treasure stories. Who knows? Next time, it might just save you from throwing away your next big payday.